day show. Yeah. How are you today? How everybody? Let's see what. Oh, let's see what's going on. How's your New Year's Eve? And how's your New Year's Day? How's everybody? Yeah. Yeah. Everything alright? Yeah. How are you, everyone? We'll watch this until uh, anyone comes on.
Book, but that's a bit like telling a girl you met on a blind date that she has a great personality. Because I so disagree with what you write, but between you and Richard Dawkins, you guys concede fully half of the argument to us creationists and to the intelligent design folks.
Hold on a second. Let's just step back and say, how can you? I mean, the question is, do you disagree with the science? And if so, what's your scientific basis?
I love the science. Oh. I'm a radio talk show host for 22 years, 5 days a week. I've debated people like Michael Shermer, Eugenie Scott. Back in the 90s, Eugenie Scott was on with me for an hour, and she said the best evidence for evolution was junk DNA. And I said, the Bible teacher, I said, well, Eugenie, don't you think it's too early in our study of genetics to conclude affirmatively that all this non-coding, all those regions are junk? And she said, we have it. We sell the DVD. She said, we absolutely know affirmatively there's no function. Now fast forward 15 years, and it's the Bible pastor, right?
Well,
one of the world.
Hey, did you know that?
Who would go off on a tangent at that point and deny that we could know anything. But I'm glad that you agree there is something.
Oh, there absolutely is, yes. And then the question, the amazing thing is how, it's, from a scientific perspective, the really important thing is a how question, not a why question. Because what we really want to know is how everything we see, the galaxy, the 100 billion galaxies in the observable universe, each containing 100 billion stars, created a Big Bang 13.7 billion years ago, how all of it arose potentially from nothing. And what is the amazing thing is when we look at the universe and measure what we've measured, it is perfectly consistent with the universe spontaneously arise due to the laws of quantum mechanics from literally nothing. The total energy of the universe appears to be zero, which of course is kind of what you might expect of a universe that came from nothing. And everything we've discovered seems to point in that direction. Now, it's only a plausibility argument. We don't know the laws of physics back to t equals 0 or 4. We know it pretty close. We've been able to, but with our machines at the Large Hadron Collider in Geneva, recreate the conditions of the universe back to about a millionth of a second after the Big Bang, and have made some recent discoveries of a major new particle there. And so, but what we've been able to say is that plausibly, it's certainly plausible, and it doesn't look like there's any need for any supernatural shenanigans. The simple laws of physics will do it.
Now, Lawrence Krauss, you know, as I've just introduced myself, that I'm the pastor of Denver Bible Church.
Yes.
So if I end up disagreeing with you on a point, and you're able, with your knowledge, to confirm that there are many scientists who would agree with me, could you let the audience know, because I might need your help in refuting you?
Sure, yeah, as long as if we're talking science.
Yeah,
absolutely.
If we're talking science, you're a best-selling author. I'd like to say to you that this is a well-written book, but that's a bit like telling a girl you met on a blind date that she has a great personality. Because I so disagree with what you write, but between you and Richard Dawkins, you guys concede fully half of the argument to us creationists and to the intelligent design folks.
Hold on a second. Let's just step back and say, how can you? I mean, the question is, do you disagree with the science? And if so, what's your scientific basis?
I love the science. I'm an amateur. I'm a radio talk show host for 22 years, 5 days a week. I've debated people like Michael Shermer, Eugenie Scott. Back in the 90s, Eugenie Scott was on with me for an hour, and she said the best evidence for evolution was junk DNA. And I said, the Bible teacher, I said, well, Eugenie, don't you think it's too early in our study of genetics to conclude affirmatively that all this non-coding, all those regions are junk? And she said, we have it. We sell the DVD. She said, we absolutely know affirmatively that it has no function. Now fast forward 15 years, and it's the Bible pastor who was right, and one of the world's leading atheists who was wrong. Scientist.
Well, first of all, Jeannie isn't a geneticist.
No,
secondly,
neither am I.
I mean, I'm a little worried when people make a mistake and say something, then suddenly it doesn't mean the science is wrong. It means the scientist is wrong.
Well, I agree with that. I agree with that.
You know, to say we affirmatively, I'm surprised you say that, because in science we generally cannot.
Right.
Regarding don't yet understand, we can't affirmatively argue with certainty about anything.
Well, that's a great point. But you guys have, like you and Richard Dawkins, you guys appeared on stage together recently. Mm-hmm. You guys have fully conceded half of our argument.
Well, I don't know which half.
Well,
I mean,
okay, let me tell you.
The universe had a beginning. If you want to go there,
no,
I'll agree with that.
Richard Dawkins repeats everywhere he speaks that biology is the study of things that appear to be designed. And to explain what appears to be, on your part, the exquisite design of our universe, you believe that there are trillions of universes, so that ours appears beautifully designed just by dumb luck. Because if you have septillions...
Well, let's stop a second. I don't even use the word believe. Scientists don't use the word believe. I don't believe anything. What the question is, what does the data tell me? What's more likely? What's less likely? What's been ruled out by the data? And in fact, the universe is not particularly exquisitely designed for us. It's exquisitely designed to exist. It could be a lot better. In fact, we probably live in the worst of all universes for the long-term future of life.
Yeah, we're able to observe.
Space is non-zero. If it was zero, the universe would be better.
Dr. Krauss, from our position, you say the sun is in an insignificant corner of our galaxy. From our position, unlike the vast majority of stars in our Milky Way, we are able to observe not only the Milky Way to an extraordinary degree, but the entire universe. We have such an extraordinary opportunity because of where we are.
Well, it's not unique by how you're right. We're lucky. We're actually, in fact, we're unlucky in a way.
Yeah.
We can observe the rest of the universe, but we can't observe most of our own galaxy. So it just depends. It's like someone who lives on the other side of the tracks. It's always greener.
Well, yeah, but if we were in the cluster, right?
We can see, but we are very unlucky. We can't see what we can't see.
If we were in the cluster where most of the stars are, in the center of our spiral galaxy, there would be so much interference, we might not be able to see hardly anything.
Well, you know, the point is we don't exactly know, first of all, the conditions, what life would be like, for example, there. And you're absolutely right that if we were right in the center of our galaxy, probably not only would we not be able to observe anything, but it'd probably be pretty hard for life to have evolved. But because we're in the outskirts of the galaxy, which is probably true for only, say, maybe 30 billion of the 100 billion stars in our galaxy. So we're one of 30 billion lucky stars, if you want to call it that, and that's fine. But, I mean, again, it's one of these things where it would be very surprising for us to find ourselves in a place we couldn't live. You agree with that?
Well,
it would be very surprising for us to find ourselves
Lawrence,
having evolved.
That's like a doctor saying the reason your father is deaf is because he can't hear.
No, it's not.
It's so much like that. That
it's not too surprising that we find ourselves in a place that's conducive for life.
Well,
you agree with that statement?
I think that's a non sequitur.
It's
a word game to try to.
It's a tautology, not a non sequitur.
Well, right. The extraordinary unlikelihood, the fine-tuning of the physical properties of the universe, and then the extraordinary unlikelihood.
What fine-tuning you're talking about? I mean, you sound like you're an expert in this, and I assume you're not. But you're just spouting off some words that you've heard. So I'd like to know what fine-tuning you're talking about.
All right, I've been doing the show for 22 years, 5 days a week. I'll tell you, the electron to proton mass ratio, right? It's 1 to 10 by what? 30 some zeros.
No, the electron to proton mass ratio is 1 in 2,000.
1 in 2,000?
Yeah.
The electron to proton mass ratio?
Yeah, it's 1 in 2,000. Yeah, the electron weighs 1/2000th the mass of the proton. It's good we're doing a little education here.
Okay, well, you're absolutely right. I'm not talking about 1 to 1. I'm talking about in the entire universe.
Oh, no, actually there are an equal number of electrons to protons. The universe is electrically neutral.
All right, well, you got me there.
Good, okay.
You got me there. I have to accept your word because.
Well, you don't have to accept
No,
my word.
no.
You
On
can
a
check it
matter
later
of
on. I
fact.
don't want you to accept anything like that.
Well,
Why
Lawrence,
you be as skeptical
a
as I am
matter
with you?
of fact, you've got your degree from what? MIT. You were at
MIT,
Harvard, Yale, Case Western, ASU.
Yeah.
By the way, I
all those places.
studied at ASU back in the 80s, artificial intelligence.
Mm-hmm.
Then I went to McDonnell Douglas Helicopter Company, Microsoft, and been a talk show host ever since. But so, okay, I apologize. I'll correct that.
What things
There's
are
the finely tuned parameters, all right? There's the gravitational force constant.
Yeah, it is what it is. But what do you mean it's fine-tuned?
There's the electromagnetic force constant. There's the ratio of the number of electrons to protons. So,
which is 1.
all right. So the reason that so many astrophysicists, cosmologists have gone to asserting the multiverse, that there are trillions upon trillions of universes, is because they say ours is such that it is so wildly unlikely.
No,
there's no good reason for it to be here unless there were septillions.
No, that's not the case. And by the way, the multiverse is very speculative, and essentially almost nothing that I've written about having to do with how the universe could come from nothing depends upon there being a multiverse. We've been driven to the multiverse by ideas in particle physics, which to some extent naturally predict the existence of many different universes. Now, there are certain parameters, and you didn't mention any of them, I think, because you're not aware of them.
Yeah,
there are certain, which in my book I describe them in detail. There's certain parameters like the energy of empty space that's very inexplicable. We can't understand why the energy of empty space is what it is.
Yeah, right.
And one of the arguments that's been presented, and it's been done a number of times throughout the history of science, is called the anthropic principle, that namely, something along the lines of what you're saying, namely, if it were any different, then galaxies wouldn't form and life as we know it wouldn't form, etc. So if it's a random event, then if it were any different, we wouldn't be here. Now, I should say that that's a plausible and possible resolution to that problem, and it's motivated in some sense by the possible existence of many universes, which are predicted by many particle physics theories. But in the past, when the anthropic principle has been applied to parameters we haven't understood, we've often found that, in fact, it's wrong, that we understand the parameters. It used to be the case for nuclear forces that they had to be finely tuned so the stars would burn the way they were, and people thought, well, it's tropic. Well, now we have a fundamental theory called the strong interaction, which describes the interactions of quarks inside protons and neutrons that explains all that. And so the point is that, your God of the gaps argument, which I'm sure you don't really want to use, suggests because we don't understand something, and some scientists suggest one possibility is that it's a random variable, and it is what it is because we're here to measure it, is one possibility. But the fact that we don't understand it and it's inexplicable otherwise at present means there's a God. Well, that's a pretty bad argument, as you know, because the minute we understand it, your God's going to go out the window.
Lawrence, in your book, as you've just said, you talk about nothing. I mean, you talk about the geometry of space and the energy that fills the geometry of space. But to clarify, you're not denying, are you, that there are physicists around the world who have calculated the unlikely existence of these fine-tuned parameters and have looked at our universe and said that it is wildly unlikely.
Actually am denying that.
Are you denying that?
Yeah, I'm denying that because
I'm
no one can calculate the probability answer. There are many people who are saying, look, the parameters of our universe seem rather strange. And maybe they're random, and it would be nice to calculate the probability that they occur. But we don't know the probability distribution over all universes because we don't know the underlying physics of the multiverse. So no one can calculate the probability distribution.
Well,
if they say they are,
they're incorrect. This is what's driven people to say that there are at least 10 to the 500, 10 to the 500 zeros universes.
Again, you got it wrong.
Go ahead.
Hold on. The reason that people say there are maybe 10 to the 500 universes is some people who think that string theory might be a good theory at the basis of quantum gravity,
which you don't
pointed
like.
out that string theory predicts 10 to the 500 different universes.
Yeah, and there are other physicists who are saying that number, that's a paltry number compared to the number of universes. There must be virtually infinite, and then lo and behold, we find ourselves here in one where we're able to exist.
Well, the point is, all of that may be true. I don't see what your problem is.
Well, I am surprised. Could I just object for the record that you're denying that there are a legion of physicists who look at the parameters of the universe, gravitational force constant, electromagnetic force constant, and so on, and they say this is very unlikely, therefore there's likely trillions of universes, and we happen to be in the one that supports our existence.
Well,
I'm shocked that you deny that.
It's the case who people who stretch the truth. You've got one or two things right, but your conclusions are wrong. There are many physicists who argue that the parameters of our universe are difficult to comprehend. There are many physicists who point out that there are various fundamental theories that predict the existence of many different universes, and therefore one possibility to explain the parameters that we see is that they are randomly distributed over universes, and we only exist in the universes that allow life. The problem with all of that, of course, is we don't even know what all sorts of intelligent life are. We don't know if the parameters of our universe are vastly different, whether a different source of intelligent life would evolve. We don't know even if we're typical of life in the universe. These are questions.
Oh, Father Charles! What the? Where'd he go? Please come back, Father Charles. Father Charles. Father Charles. Father Charles. We miss you. Father Charles. We miss you. Father Charles. We all miss you. Father Charles. We all miss you. Father Charles. Oh, he's gone. Come back, Father Charles. Father Charles, where are you? Father Charles, I see you. We miss Father Charles. Yes, we do. We miss Father Charles. Father Charles, we miss you. Father Charles, where did you go? Father Charles. Father Charles. Father Charles. Father Charles. Father Charles. Father Charles. 1 minute. Oh, yes. Hi, Father Charles.
What are you doing?
Good. How you been?
Good.
Let's go. Happy New Year's.
Happy New Year to you.
We all missed you.
I've been busy.
How have you been? Has it been good and so?
I'm in North Carolina right now. So.
Oh, what are you doing there?
Visiting my son.
Oh, is everything all right?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, we all missed you and worried about you.
Oh, I'm fine.
Oh, that's good. Yeah. Do you see last night's show? It was crazy.
No, I didn't actually.
What do you think of that? I have my own show now.
Yeah, I think that's great.
Yeah, it's awesome. Wow. Yeah, we all missed you.
Mm-hmm. So how long you had your show?
I think a little bit after you left, I found a restream that actually it works great for me.
Yeah.
Compared to StreamYard. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, this is different for me. I'm actually on my phone, so.
Wow. Yeah, it's crazy. Father Charles, yeah, we're all worried about you. I wanted to make sure you're all right and stuff.
I'm all right.
Oh, that's good.
Logan, I don't know. I got bored with the whole internet thing, I guess, for a while. So that's the best explanation I can give you. It's the truest anyway. It's
Yeah.
why. I just felt I got bored.
Do you know that what Steven said about Faithful? He tried to blame her for you not having shows. He said she witched you or something. He's
Witched
crazy.
me.
Yeah,
Uh,
it's crazy. Yeah, yeah. Uh, how was your New Year's? Did you had fun?
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
I stayed up and brought the new year in.
that's good. Yeah.
Slapped back a couple glasses of wine. It was good.
Oh, how was your Christmas?
Real good. Yeah. I was home for Christmas, so.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, I'm so glad you're all right and stuff. We all
Yeah.
missed you.
I still live. I got a few messages. Are you still alive or what? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. You know, Mark, he's been working on an AI machine.
uh, like, you should know, Logan, I haven't been on the internet hardly at all, so.
Yeah, that,
Yeah, I don't know what anyone's doing,
yeah,
truthfully.
he's been working on an AI machine.
Mm.
And last night was crazy.
Well, what happened last night, in a nutshell?
Uh, Dustin came on,
Uh-huh.
and he went crazy. He'd say, "No, no." And,
Oh, okay. I did see Mark. Mark did a shorty on No No.
yeah,
Okay, yeah. That
that's for
happened.
the
That happened last night.
yeah.
Oh wow,
And brother Pike been having teachings on my channel.
cool.
I made him a moderator, I think, where he could let people in and stuff.
Mhm.
Yeah, so also he did all kinds of teachings about from the Bible and stuff.
Mhm.
Yeah, and Big Bad Mama and Claude, they've been having shows too. Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, and, Faithful, she came on her wilds and stuff.
Mhm.
Yeah, but yeah, reaching actually works for me for some reason. I don't know, but
Yeah, it seems to work pretty good.
yeah, and Skylar been on, and you ever heard this other Mark from a trailer? Mark, or I forgot his Mark something.
No. Mm-mm.
Yeah, he been on. And, uh, yeah, he was on a Christian Pike show, and we did a show about special proof for special creation, and
Mhm.
yeah.
That's good, man. I'm glad you got your own show.
Oh, thank you. It's so good to have Father Charles on the show. Yeah, that's awesome. Uh, yeah, and uh, when are you start having shows again?
I don't know. Maybe we'll see.
Yeah. We all missed you and stuff.
Well, I appreciate that, Logan, and everyone else. Like I said, I don't know. I just got bored with it all. What can I tell you? That's the
I,
truth.
I agree. Yeah, and Aiden been on. It was so crazy last night. Dustin, he really has serious problems with Claude. He always like to call him a frog or something. How
Yeah.
it's crazy.
No, I've always liked Claude.
Yeah, me too. He's a lovable character.
Yeah.
Yeah, Stump. He been on here.
Oh, cool.
And Lupin, and he doesn't come. He went on here once, but was it long and stuff? But he was on here. Lupin was on here, and yeah, uh, Kaylee's, he doesn't come on here, but what he said before was funny. He said that we don't have imagination like atheists do,
Mm-hmm.
or even in monkeys. So funny. Yeah, it was funny. Every time he talks,
Mm.
makes me laugh. He's a funny guy. He calls them locals.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he seems not to like any.
What's that noise?
Oh, Brother Pike. Brother Pike said he's finished up something and he's going to come on.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Kaylee, he's a funny guy. Every time he likes to call people locals.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Here's this time he said, you heard of Thomas Paine? One of the
Oh,
followers.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
He called him Thomas Paine.
Mm-hmm.
He said
Mm-hmm.
Thomas Paine does writing for
Mm-hmm.
Thomas Paine.
Right. Oh, yeah. Mm.
uh, yeah, yeah, it was crazy. It's been very crazy when you laugh out. Yeah, and Miss Machi's having she's very upset about with Steven and stuff. She blocked everyone.
Oh, is everyone blocked again?
Yeah, by Miss Mod. Yeah.
Oh, wait a minute. Steven blocked all you guys and Missing Mod?
No, Miss Mod blocked
Steven.
me
Okay. Yeah.
and everyone. Yeah, and
Mm.
Steven, he blocked. Yeah, he does allow Aiden on there. Like Aiden did came on there for a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, because Lupin let him on. But
Mm-hmm.
Steven kicked him off. He said we have to have standards around here or something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Oh, boy.
Steven's a crazy guy. Here's time they had Claude on there, and Claude on there. This one lady says, "If evolution's true, why don't Claude gave birth to a monkey now?"
Yeah, boy.
I don't think Claude could give birth to anything. He's just a Claude.
He's a quad. Yeah.
Yeah, he's been funny and crazy and stuff. Yeah, it's been crazy and all kinds of stuff. Like, what else? Yeah, Kaylee, he's always such a crazy guy.
Yeah.
He doesn't seem to like any of the interpretations of the Bible in the English. Not when King James, he doesn't like a lot of the other ones. What do you think of that?
No, he just it's the gospel according to Achilles, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, not too long ago, he compared God of the Bible to Zeus.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, that's crazy. Oh, guess who's here to see ya? Guess who's here? Claude?
Who's here?
Father Charles.
Hello.
What's up?
Hey, wow, it's great to see you, Father Charles.
Good to see
If
you.
I was there physically, I would kiss you on both cheeks. Yeah.
Yes. I would return the kiss.
Oh, good. So, no, it's wonderful. I was worried about you. So you're all good?
I was telling Logan, I just got bored with it all.
Yeah, I can see why too.
Everyone's
Yes.
fighting and
Yeah.
I've watched your videos though. I'm subscribed to your channel. Hysterical as usual.
Sometimes funny, and sometimes I get a bit cranky. You know, that's
Well,
the
the
thing.
cranky ones, I think you hit the nail on the head most of the time.
That's the wonderful thing we say about Gangster is he has the kindest heart. Someone wrote a song, a New Year's song, and it said Gangster Ghost has the kindest heart. So I was very annoyed, of course, that they praised him, but I let it go. That's great.
So what country are you in today?
I'm in New Zealand today,
Okay.
and I'll be going to be in Australia in about February for a while. So yeah,
Okay. I'm in North Carolina.
North Carolina. Is that where you normally live? Or
Oh no, yeah, I guess. No, my son lives in North Carolina.
right. So yeah, because you're further north, aren't you? Like a cold place, a cold state, is it? Pennsylvania
Yeah,
or oil? Yeah.
yeah, cold state. Although we've had a mild winter, we really have.
All right. In North Carolina, is it warm or cold?
Well, right now it's 68 degrees
Oh, nice.
Fahrenheit. Us Americans, we want to
Yes,
stick with Fahrenheit.
yes. No, I can understand both, so it's good. Mm.
Although I
Wow.
learned the metric system, I was in high school, I guess. They started
Yes.
teaching the metric system, okay? So I
Yeah.
learned it.
Yeah.
But then Americans decided they didn't want European measurements, so we went
Oh,
back to, inches, feet, and Fahrenheit.
yeah. Because, yeah. I mean, I know both. Metric is much easier for the
Yeah,
mathematic and everything.
yeah, everything's in tens, basically.
Yeah. So the decimal is it? They call you a decimal system. Yeah.
Right.
Mm.
Yeah,
Oh
Doc.
my goodness, it's been a few crazy weeks, and we've been putting out lots of little videos and clips, and being a bit mischievous.
Yeah, I saw that. I liked your 12 Days of Christmas.
Well, Big Bad
And,
Mama
and
wrote most of the words for that, and I wrote some of the words, and then I sing it and send it to him, and he puts it together with the illustrations. It was real teamwork. Big Bad Mama would make a good wife for me, but has a very deep voice. I'm
yeah,
not so sure. Something is amiss, or not amiss, I think is more to the point.
right.
Not amiss.
Mm,
He could be a mister.
right.
Mm.
Oh, man.
Oh dear.
Then I like the one where Kent and his wife are singing.
Ah, yes.
uh, anyway.
Gangster Ghost will have to.
Let's just say Kent needs to stick with his day job.
Yeah. Um, Gangster Ghost will have to send you the link to the video that it's New Year's the seasons that who did it? Smeared with Soot did. It's very good. Yeah. On the Smeared with Soot channel. Yeah. And it's the one that's has some kind words about just about all of us, and also it says that Gangster has got the warmest heart or whatever. We'll let that go, but it's a very good one for you to listen to as well. It's nice.
Oh, well, had been all crazy like stuff, and we all, yeah, it was crazy, right? Claude.
Oh, yeah, it was good though.
Yeah, yesterday, Dustin went off saying no, no, stuff like that. It was funny.
Yes, even Mark Stoney made the video of Dustin a short.
Yeah, I saw that this morning. Mm. No, no, no. Oh man.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was crazy. Other times, you guys also had Mr. Logo on and all kinds of stuff. It's been crazy like on here, and yeah, what do you think of that Claude?
Yeah, Mr. Logo, he was good. Yeah.
Yeah. You ever been to the UK, Claude?
Yes, yes. many times. Well, not many times, but yeah, quite a bit. Enough.
Dustin's here. He missed you too, Brother Charles.
No.
Are you going to the?
How's it
Are you
going,
going
everybody?
All right.
Very good.
Hi,
Are you
Dustin.
going to the UK Ghost this year sometime?
Next year.
Next year.
Yeah, Dustin. Father Chuck's back.
How's it going, Father Charles? It's good to see you.
Good. Good to see you, man. Hear you.
I'm really, really glad that
I'm not dead.
I had a couple of running conspiracy theories going on about your disappearance, and I'm curious as to which one has most merit. But I'm really glad
All right,
it's not one of the conspiracy theories, because
all
for a
right.
second there you had me scared.
Let me hear the conspiracy theories, and then I'll tell you what I told Logan when he asked me where I've been. Go ahead.
Well, one, you have been abducted by the Catholic Church and brought back out of retirement and are being whipped for going into retirement. Two, you busted into an old church and you kidnapped a nun that you fell in love with years ago and eloped somewhere. Three, you fell into a heroin addiction and just decided to say screw it with life. Or four, you're actually a secret double agent and the Vatican hired you as a secret assassin and you were going to go take out Biden or Trump. I'm not sure which.
No, I just got bored, Dustin.
Copy that.
I got bored with all the fighting, and I for my own, I needed to walk away for a while. And
Are you sure the overlords didn't kidnap you? Sorry.
You got to remember, I'm from a different generation. I'm pre-internet, so.
That's why I had so many different conspiracy theories. I know how your generation works. You guys have that super spy network.
Claude.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
It could have been. Was it the overlord that took you?
Yeah, that's who it was. Whoever they are.
Yeah. What's his name? Keely said the overlords controls us all. Even
and we live on a flat Earth.
Yeah. This is crazy.
Just look at the United Nations logo. That'll explain everything.
Below the belt. Oh, I feel sorry for those ding bells.
That's funny. Yeah.
I was just, by the way, I was just quoting Achilles. He said many times, just look at the logo of the United Nations.
I know what you were quoting.
So, anyway.
You make it so hard to defend people.
I had to take a break from the madness, man. I had to take a break from the madness. I guess you could say that.
Yeah.
Everybody's entitled to walk away.
Mm-hmm. It's probably easy for me since, like I say, I'm pre-internet. So I live in, but I've tasted both worlds. So.
Wow. Yeah. We all missed you so much, Father Charles.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I missed you guys too. Like I said, I watch Claude's videos because I'm subscribed, and then I saw you sending me the link, Logan. And I said, well, the first one I was home when you sent the first one, and I said when I get to North Carolina, I said if he has another show, I'll hop on. So here I am.
Oh, awesome. Yeah, Claude, he was very scared for you, worried, right, Claude?
Yes, I was a bit worried, but we checked the obituaries and you weren't in there. So.
Oh Jesus.
Yeah, that's what we were thinking too.
Yeah. Well, Mark Stoney sent me a message. Are you still alive? I wrote back. I live. Mm,
I think a more appropriate question would have been, are you still in your body?
yeah, there you go. I would agree with that.
You ever had a out of body experience?
Who, me?
Multiple.
Yeah.
I'll
Gotta
tell you.
remember, I've been shot.
Well, what about you, Fire Charles?
I don't usually share this, but
Sorry.
uh, years ago, um, man, I must have been. I was probably still. Yeah, I was still in my 20s. I, w- I went through a green light and someone T-boned me. Okay, and well, it was a girl that T-boned me, but I mean, she hit me at like 55 miles an hour, and yeah, I had this experience. I was standing out of my body when the paramedics got there. Whether it was a dream or not, I don't know. Um, but it sure was real. It was real. But sometimes we have dreams that can be real, real too. And anyway, so if that's about out of body experience, I had one. Whether it was in my own mind or it was the real thing, I still debate with myself. So,
Wow. What about you,
Well,
Dutch?
I'm trying to tell you, man, I know for a fact outer body experiences exist. And I hope one day Claude comes to that realization and maybe has like a small shifting of faith somewhere underneath all that rubble that is the castle that used to be a religious pillar.
Yes,
well,
the only
like
out
I
of body experience I've had is sort of a long time ago with a few different people, mainly women.
Yeah, I was going to say, what was her name?
uh,
Yeah,
I think
I
we
knew
both.
that was coming.
I,
I just don't want to see you go to hell, Claude. Okay, I'm sorry. I know you think that it's a ridiculous notion and that the idea is bad, but look, man, if I have to wake up one day to hear you screaming, I'm not gonna lie. There's gonna be a part of me that laughs, but there's also gonna be a part of me that's sad.
Oh well, that's nice. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
well, Dustin, like I said, my out of body experience, I watched the paramedics put me on the stretcher. And then, boom, the next thing I remember, I was waking up in the emergency room. So that's why I don't know if it was a dream or, you know, I,
Um, do you remember being able to look at yourself?
yeah, I was watching the paramedics
No,
put,
no, 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 not your body. I meant like you would in a dream. Can you look at your hands? Because look, that's how you know the difference. Okay, really, honestly, if you're in a dream and you're in a lucid dream, you
mm-hmm,
should be able to look at your hands,
all
right?
right.
But if you're having an out of body experience, your body is no longer with you. That's how you know what the
Well,
difference
that,
is. That's
well,
also coincidentally the difference between a hallucination and an outer body experience.
well, that's why I'm trying to explain to you. All I remember seeing is, and I still remember it vividly, and we're talking years ago, right? So I watched the paramedics pull me out of my Blazer. It was a Chevy Blazer, and I was just watching them. They put me on. They checked. Um, they were checking my vitals when suddenly I'm waking up in the emergency room. So I'm not going to make it any greater than it was. But
I
I
heard.
did have that experience of looking at myself on a gurney.
Wow. I remember hearing about here's a guy said he floated above his body and read something off the ceiling.
Oh yeah, well, I read the book. I forget the doctor's name now. He's a medical doctor. Actually, it's a she and a he. I can't. Life. Well, I think it was called Life After Life or Life After Death. I read that years ago. after I had my experience. And some of the most compelling is that people they come back and they actually floated, I guess, I call it the death room. They're waiting to hear their relative died, and they recount the conversations they were having, you know. So, like I say, the two medical doctors wrote that book. Yeah, I wanted to investigate after I had that brief experience. So,
Claude. He said if he was a ghost, he would hunt Steven. Right, Claude?
I could see Claude hanging out at the base of the Eiffel Tower for like 1,000 years just to watch and see what happens. I could see him just sitting there on his little lawn chair, sipping a macchiato, watching everything, smoking a cigarette.
It would be the time I could be insane, because you know the name of the river next to the Eiffel Tower is the Seine River.
That's right.
So if I would be insane if I fell in it, yes.
So, Claude, would you say I had a dream?
Would you say that you had a dream?
Yeah,
it's really hard to say. I don't know on that. There are some things that happen that are inexplicable, and so no, I really don't know. I have had once. I had to have an operation, and I'm sure I could see someone during the operation, but you would, and it's lasted, that belief, for many years. So I don't know. Yeah.
Brother Pike.
Hey, Father Chuck.
What's up?
What the Chuck?
What
the Chuck is going on around here?
Old Father Chuck.
Yeah.
How you doing?
Good. I'm in North Carolina. I'm kind of close to you.
Man, it's good to hear from you again.
Well, thanks. Good to talk to you guys.
I've been holding it down for you.
Mm-hmm. No, I just had to get away from all the fighting, and
I don't blame you.
I really did. I think it was sort of poisoning me. So anyway.
Do not blame you, sir.
But that's all it was.
I figured that's what it was.
Guess who else is here?
Yeah, I still think he's a 00 priest, right? Working for the Vatican.
That is certainly within the
realm. I really do. I think any minute he's gonna like disappear off the screen, jump in behind Christian, do a Mission Impossible, and swoop him out.
Me and Steven did that once. I don't know if y'all remember.
I think that secretly Father Charles could belong to the 00777 club.
00777 club. That's a good one. It was right there. How did I not see that?
It was right there.
It was right there the whole time.
We can get Logan to make up a sting for it. Some screenshot for 00777 club.
We could have like Father Chuck on the line, and we could have like Kent Hovind holding him up in the air shoot.
Oh, Outcast is here.
Outcast.
Yes.
Wow, you deviant, you.
Oh, yes.
Do you remember her, Father Charles? She used to be on Mark's show.
Charles? Father Charles?
Father Charles is here.
Are you there, Father Charles?
I'm here.
Yeah, she used to be.
He's here.
I found her in the comments of Claude and got her to come on the show.
Yeah.
Do you remember Father Charles?
Oh, I remember Father Charles, of course.
Oh, that's good. Yeah. What about? Yeah. Brother Pike, when does that thing give you my avatar?
I don't really know how any of this stuff works, man. I've been just pushing buttons to see what happens.
Me either.
He's over here messing with all your settings.
I've been messing with
He's
all.
like,
I will mess with things. Look at this. Bam. Boom shakalaka.
Be careful. I made a mistake once and made it where we couldn't see our avatars.
Oh god.
I have cool avatars. I like my avatars.
You are an avatar.
Hey guys, I'm
Yes,
on my
sir, I
phone.
am.
How do I put an avatar on my?
Well, go to settings.
There's three little
using-
dots at the bottom of the screen right there. Right, open it up, go to settings, and then it'll tell you how to change your avatar. You'll probably have to add one.
Yeah, I do. Okay. All right, hang on while I do this.
I ain't got no bottom of no screen.
It's just me. I can't add an avatar. Whoa.
I got
Yeah,
Logan.
you can. You just gotta know how to do it.
I can do it, but it won't accept it because it thinks I have a camera, which I don't. So I have to disable the camera, which is already disabled. So,
Plug a pair of headphones into the camera jack.
But I don't have a camera jack because my screen is a television. It's an old flat screen.
What are
TV
you on? Are you on?
I'm
What
on
are
my
you on
computer.
right now? Are you on like a?
I'm on a computer, a PC.
Okay. Let me see here. Hold on just a minute, Logan.
That's interesting. Are you using a web browser or are you on an app?
No, I use a web browser. I use Google Chrome.
That's the problem. That's the problem right there.
Google Chrome. What's wrong with Google Chrome?
Oh, really?
There's nothing wrong with Google Chrome, but Google Chrome defaults and there's a setting somewhere buried in the system. I probably have to Google it. But yeah, you probably can. You just have to tell Google Chrome that you don't have a camera, right? Because Google Chrome thinks you have a camera and it's forcing you to default.
Yeah.
If you look in the background, you'll notice the reason that we went to Kuwait.
Good one. The black gold.
So awesome. For Chuck's back.
It is awesome.
Christian cracks corn and I don't care. Christian cracks corn and I don't care. Christian cracks corn and I don't care. Oh, I thought I was muted.
Noted.
Yeah, right.
All right, I'm about to go eat. I just want to come say hey to Father Chuck. I've been writing all day.
All right, Kristen. Good to talk to you.
And it's awesome to talk to you. We'll get together soon. I'm sure I'll have a chance.
Okay.
Folks, I'm going to Whataburger. Yeah.
It was good to see you,
Take care.
Christian.
All right. Look, in memory of the Kuwaitis who died, leave this background going.
Okay. Yeah, Father Charles.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest. Like about 90% of the time, I have no idea what Christian's talking about.
That's bad. That's bad.
I'm just being honest.
Yeah, I like it. It's okay.
Yeah. Oh.
I'm trying to find. Damn it! I'm trying to find the settings. My Never
It's
mind.
probably look. You're gonna have to go into Google Chrome, and then you're gonna have to go into your email. And I guarantee it. Well, I don't guarantee, but I'm pretty sure it has something to do with the Play Store, right? So it's very involved when you're dealing with Chrome and you're trying to get it to work with like off-brand websites. You have to go in manually.
Yeah, because I've tried I've tried these settings in Windows, and that's not the issue.
No,
I'm
it's
now in the
not.
Chrome
It's because
settings, and that's not either.
so
I can't
no.
find
Well,
anything.
okay. So look, the way it works is you have a computer. There's a computer inside of your computer, and then there's a subcomputer underneath that. I think they call it like OO, right? And
Yeah.
that's where the setting is. That's where you got to get to in order to fix this. Right. So like, and in all honesty, the best way to do it is from the internet, because they have an internet profile that has like a master file to all the devices
Yeah.
that you're linked to. It's like a back door. It'll just let you right to the settings. So my suggestion is look up the settings in Google Play, right? Because
Yeah.
that's probably where the service is that you're looking for the setting. And when you find the webcam setting under Google Play, it should allow you to disable it. Then you should be able to put on your avatar.
I will try and dig around. I'm not really awake yet, so. Oh yeah, I slept for 30 hours. No kidding. I recently woke
Are
up.
you sick?
30 hours.
In my head, yeah.
Yeah, are you sick? What's the matter? What's going on with you? You're sleeping for 30 hours? That's like that's like close to a coma stance. Like what do you got going on over there? Did you eat something?
Maybe. I don't know. It happens from time to time. It used to happen all the time earlier before.
Are you narcoleptic? Like
I
what
wish.
did the doctor diagnose you or something? What's going on?
Well, they did, but not with this issue. No, I don't know. It's I used to be like up for days and then just sleeping a couple of hours and then up for days.
I mean,
I
how far north are you in Sweden?
I'll be back.
About midways. Not that far.
Midways. So you're
No,
kind
less
of
than mid.
your circadian rhythms are kind of messed up because of the overexposure to sunlight. But 30 hours worth of sleep? When's the last time you were asleep before that?
The day before. I usually sleep like 12 hours. That's my.
Are you anemic?
My standard. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. Currently, no. I do have
Currently?
issues with my
So
blood.
you used to be?
I used to be because I used to. I had anorexia for many years.
Okay. Well, now some things are starting to come full. Yeah, now I'm starting to make okay. Now I can connect some dots here. You used to be anorexic. That's okay. Yeah. Well, so you have a nutritional issue. Well, there could be an ulcer buried somewhere deep in your tissue that's metastasized to a blood vessel. You could be getting a shot of severe hormones that's shutting down your I forget what the word is.
I remember
so you're getting
when
a
I
massive
started.
shot of toxins that are like being incubated in this ulcer, right? That could have been from overstress of lack of sleep, and like every once in a while it'll open up into your bloodstream, and that's probably what's knocking you. You need to go to the doctor. You need to get your stomach x-rayed or an MRI too, like, because they need to find whatever it is, that because if it's intermittent like that and you don't have any issues with narcolepsy, like there's something that's introducing a massive shock to your system and it's shutting down for reset. That could kill you. You need to go get that checked.
For serious?
I'm not okay. I mean, I'm just talking out of my butt here, but yes, I'm telling you, when you sleep like that, that's a huge red flag. There's something wrong.
Yeah, I mean, it's not very pleasant. I can tell you that for sure. It's not like I feel rested afterwards. I feel like shit. Pardon the French.
I wasn't French, I was English.
Yeah, and we actually have a Frenchman here who can confirm that.
Merde.
Anyway.
Merde. You feel like merde.
Good job, dude. No, seriously though, you need to go get that looked at. There's some reason your body is shutting down. There's something either in your diet or there's like some kind of underlying cause that's intermittent that's causing. Yeah, something's not right. You need to go get looked.
Yeah,
Hey,
I
can y'all hear?
should. I should.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, the phone's working. What the? Y'all want anything from Wilbur?
Oh. Father Charles.
Yes.
Yeah, we miss you so much, Father Charles. We all miss Father Charles.
Yeah, for sure. How have you been?
I've been good.
Oh, awesome. Now I hear
Father
myself.
Church, I was just about to join the Orthodox Church, and I was going to talk to you about it, but you weren't here.
Oh, I bet you were.
I was like on the verge. I just need somebody to talk to me about it.
Uh-huh.
He's been having teachings on my show. Yeah, about godly judgment and what else was there? Being known of God. And
Yeah, we had a number of them. We've had like 4 or 5. They've been good.
Cool.
Yeah. Awesome.
Logan's channel's taking over, man.
It's so awesome that you're back, yo. Yes. Yeah, it's been great.
So, Deviant.
Yeah.
Do you drink much tea?
No. No, I hardly drink tea at all. I drink
I would
coffee.
suggest you start drinking tea a little bit.
Like black tea?
Chamomile would be best, but any tea would be good. Green tea has antioxidants in it that might help you with your little issue.
Yeah, coffee's terrible for your stomach. I got stomach problems, and I drink coffee all day, every day, and it's like the worst thing.
Yeah, me too. I actually I've had not an ulcer, but
Also,
the step before you get an ulcer, I've had for over 20 years.
I knew it. I knew it. How did I call that? I don't know a thing about you. I called it.
Yeah, it comes with the territory.
Are you all right?
Who?
What did you say, Logan?
Outcast, are you all right?
Oh, I'm always all right.
No, that's good.
It's on the spectrum, you know.
Featuring. Yeah.
Here's the definition of
I mean,
featuring.
if I was
It's a prominent attribute or
if
aspect.
what?
Oh, nothing. Go ahead.
If I was your
Getting the
doctor,
patting
I'd
on
have
your
you
arm,
on
Father
a few medications. Too bad I'm not a doctor. I wish I was a doctor. That'd be cool.
I'm a doctor.
You can remind me of a doctor.
You can become one.
Well, no. It's not like a lawyer. Like, I can't just go pass the test and become a doctor. Like, there are certain training hours required.
Oh yeah, for sure. You need the medical school. It's like, I don't know, 10 years. what's happening.
I will diagnose your condition.
Oh, please do.
It's chronic. You need to drink more coffee than what you're currently drinking.
Right.
I mean, don't do that.
Right.
That's terrible advice.
You're like the anti-doctor.
Well, I'm going through the Whataburger drive-thru right now to get this patty melt with like the pepper sauce, and I have a horrible stomach, probably filled with ulcers. So I really need a doctor.
I mean, even I know you shouldn't do like spicy food.
I love spicy food.
You and me both.
Everyone does. I don't. I don't get it. I really don't get it. It's just it's pain. It's
What you
pain and
have to do is try
unconsciousness.
it again. That's the secret.
You
You
need
sound like a
to
friend
you
of
need
mine.
to shift in your vitamin intake, right? And also your mineral intake. My suspicion is that your digestion is partially to blame for your quote unquote pain.
It will cause a lot of problems. I have all kind of issues that I know are related to my bad stomach.
Well, and that's the same thing goes for you too, right? A lot of the times when you have stomach issues, it's not because of bacteria or like acid. It's because of a lack of enzymes and white blood cells that would
I
help
take
break down the
probiotics
food
like they're
properly.
gummies, son.
No, not probiotics. I didn't say probiotics. You need damn it, what was the word I just used?
Patty melt?
No, you don't need a patty melt.
Well, it's too late for that.
Oh, damn it. I just had the words.
Father Chucky's trying to tell me what to do again.
No.
I'm just trying to help you out,
The
right? Like
arbiter of justice has returned.
enzymes. That's the damn word I was looking for. You need to produce you need to promote good enzymes. Right? Probiotics are bacteria. That's good for your gut. It's not good for your stomach. Your stomach is where the problem is.
So I got the half sweet, half unsweet instead of the full sweet tea. Is that a pretty good step?
It's one step.
Diabetes doesn't care. Diabetes doesn't care. You're gonna
Dang it.
Do you have diabetes?
Today's the day that I'm supposed
diabetes.
to like eat better.
You need to change. You need to change your mineral intake, and you need enzymes, right? Like those are the two things that the stomach needs to properly digest and break
How
down
many
vitamins out of the
cappuccinos should
food.
I be drinking in a given day?
Well, I mean,
that's mostly
if you had
water, milk.
if you had these things I was talking about, you could chug them all day without consequence. But you probably won't listen to me.
Without consequences, where I'm getting the holdups.
Well, if you had the proper enzymes and minerals to digest the caffeine, you wouldn't have a problem. Right? That's the issue. Is like there's undigested.
What's that?
Does the Bible say all this stuff Dustin's telling me?
Not that I know of.
What about the Word of God, Dustin?
What about the Word of God? Well, when Adam and Eve consumed the fruit, they changed the insides of their bodies because they had become of the carnal mind, and therefore our digestive systems need to be aided with certain minerals and enzymes.
It's a good answer. Much better than what I expected.
Wait, what did you expect?
It's a good answer, man. Can't you just be happy with that?
Somehow I feel like I've been racismed here.
There was just the slightest racism that had occurred, but it was
There's
against like
racisms going
Albanians.
on.
Like it's one of those races nobody cares about, like Albanians or whatever.
I'm not even related to Albanians.
Well, I
I'm
mean,
gonna
that's
kick
good.
you in your nuts. I'm gonna
Albanians,
kick you in your
Justin.
nuts, Christian.
Look, all the people in
Both
the
of them
world who hate the
with
Jews,
one
I'm like,
foot.
have you guys considered the Moldovans?
I'm gonna crack back my foot, and I'm gonna football style your balls through the uprights. Okay? Do you hear me?
Father Chuck, is any of this in the Bible?
I think he's biblically incorrect. Not
That
politically.
doesn't mean it won't happen.
I got to go with the vicar on this one. I got to go with the vicar, son.
I just hope the Deviant Outcast is there to put the score on the scoreboard.
Oh, I do.
I feel like Deviant Outcast did not know what kind of group she was getting involved in.
Well, it'll be a sporting event at the very least.
I'm gonna
Father Chuck,
referee
these
for
people need the
sure.
Lord.
What's that?
These people need the Lord, Father.
I mean, as long as Jesus is there to hold his arms out to signify the goal, we're all good. I apologize for that there. It's good. It's all good.
It's like if you
Oh my
took the
goodness.
dumbest thing and made it dumber.
Don't tempt me, Christian. I can always go dumber.
Well, you know, I used to question your limits, but you know, in the light of recent events, limitless is the way I describe you in regards to that.
Those are the only two things that that Albert Einstein would agree on were actual constants: the never-ending expanse of the universe and the never-ending stupidity of humanity. And of the never-ending expanse of the universe, he was much less certain.
That joker hated quantum physics.
What?
Yeah, Einstein, he didn't like Schrodinger and all them. He felt like it was a bunch of foolishness that was going to get disproved any day.
I think my brain is still sleeping. I hear very strange things.
Those are the only kind we say.
There's some strange people here.
Yeah.
For sure.
I hope we've.
I feel racism again.
Well, take your Albanian self and
yeah. And remember to pay your tithes and offerings.
Yeah.
Because we need it.
Don't forget to tip your priest on the way out.
Yeah, we need it.
Did you ever get a tip, Father Charles?
Good what?
Did anyone ever tip you?
Tip me?
Yeah.
Some people try to give me
I'm
some
sure
tips,
people
but
have told him not to play in the street.
They're probably like, here's a tip. Don't be a priest. It's not very lucrative.
Oh. You said people try to give you tips?
Yeah, advice.
Oh. Yeah. Claude, he was they say he's the modern day Napoleon Dynamite. Right, Claude?
I was tipped as a waiter. I have only tips when I was working as a waiter. I got the tips occasionally. But if Father Charles did a very good sermon one day, I'd give him a tip, and say, hey, there you go, here's some money. Spend it on something, buy yourself a bar of chocolate or something, Big tip.
Do you like eat bars of chocolate?
Sometimes I'm French. We love the fine foods. Yeah.
Yeah, Father Charles, do you eat bars of chocolate?
Well, sometimes I eat chocolate, but not whole bars.
Oh. You ever ate a Snicker?
Oh yeah.
Oh. Dustin, he's a crazy guy. He type of guy would eat monkey brains.
Now, I don't know where you were when you saw me doing that, but I'm fairly certain that's not information I want made public, sir.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. Yeah, we might have seen that on Indiana Jones. You ever seen that?
Yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah. Father Charles, you said it's in the 60s where you're at?
What?
You say it's in the 60s where you're at?
Yeah.
Oh, it's 38 where I'm at. Wow. What, are you still in Eastern Standard Time or?
Yeah.
Oh. Dust, what time is it where you're at, Dustin?
10:30.
Oh. Wow, it's early where you're at.
Yeah, so.
He's on the West Coast.
10.
Yeah. Claude, what time is it where you're at?
7:30 in the morning.
He is too close to me.
Claude, are you doing a show in 30 minutes?
I was going
the
to,
next
but
day.
I don't know. I don't know whether to.
Well,
Yeah.
I just got a notification. That's why I asked.
Yes, I did have it planned, but I'm not sure. Do we just keep going with this show? I'm not sure.
Oh, sorry.
No problem.
Freaking Logan. Why do you keep doing that? You apologize for everything.
Sorry.
I quit. I quit. There's no point.
Guess who's here? Mr. Logo.
Oh.
Mr. Logo, can you explain the Precambrian? Oh no, excuse me, the Cambrian explosion with your successive change of species?
Are you there, Mr. Logo?
Mr. Logo.
He is the logo.
Mr. Logo is
Mr. Logo. Bum, bum, bum. What went on in your head? Dun, 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 dun.
Oh. Father Charles?
Yes.
Big Bad Mama says, good to see you.
Hello, Big Bad Mama.
Hey, he missed you too. What the? No, Mr. Logo. Not Mr. Logo.
He's probably just had a bad connection. He'll be back.
Oh, yeah. I'm gonna say, yeah. Faithful miss you, everyone, Miss Father Charles. Yeah, so glad to see.
Don't worry though, we'll get more ammo.
Father Charles. Aiden's here. He said, Father Charles.
Yeah, I see his comment. Hey, Aiden, how you doing, bud?
Father Charles!
Hey! It's the wild
back! Oh my goodness, what a great New Year's Day gift to see you back here. How have things been with you, man?
Good.
That's good. That's good.
I'll tell you right now, I just had to get away from it all. Everyone fighting and you got to remember, Aiden, I'm pre-internet, so I'm from both worlds. So.
No, I understand. Well, good news. Nothing has changed whatsoever.
Well said, my friend. Well said.
Well, things have changed.
Yeah, he won. Steven's show and got kicked off.
Yeah, that's It's a story for another day. Yeah, no, it's all about the same as far as that's concerned. So no, but I'm glad that you're at least coming back. Even just once in a while would be great to see you, man. So
Yeah, I was on here doing a show, and Father Charles showed up.
no, that's awesome. That's awesome.
I'm like a bad dream. You never know when I'm going to show up.
Freddie Charles. He has fingers for. He has blades for fingers.
Oh, Big Bad Mama.
He has Bibles for fingers.
That works
Big
too.
Bad.
That was a good one.
Oh, I did a sing jig where I had Father Charles' face on what's his name? Chuck Norris. I turned his guns into Bibles.
Oh, I didn't see that one.
Shooting out Bible verses. I can see that in the Matrix, where Father Charles has like a couple of like Bibles in each hand, and he just starts shooting Bible verses.
Oh, like Bible.
Oh, that would be awesome. That's the last comic book we need is Bible Man, dude. You just started something that is gonna change.
Oh.
That's
Bible Man! Yes. Wielding the
I
might
knew
and
Aiden
power
would
of
pick it up.
Jesus Christ. Bible Man! Yes. Yes, I love Bible Man.
Be healed.
Yeah.
Have you ever
We
saw that Father?
We could make his weakness like garden rakes.
Garden rakes, yeah.
Every time he tries to go to somebody's house, he steps on a garden rake. Thwah!
You thought you would win this argument, Bible Man, but wait until I use my contradiction ray on you. No!
Mm.
Oh, that's hilarious.
So how's Steven doing?
I would just like to point out that within the first minutes of Father Charles being here, he is asking about us. He is asking about the drama. Right, that they just wanted to say that in the chat for a moment there. I'm just kidding. It's
very good.
So back to Bible Man. Do you think we could work out a Pope Mobile?
A Pope Mobile? I don't know if we'll be able to
I want to
find
see Father Charles in a Pope Mobile.
We could have him. It could be like a priest suit.
Wait. Did you guys forget that I am not Roman Catholic?
That's true. I'm sorry. I did forget that.
Yeah, Big Bad Mama said everyone's fighting worse now, Father Charles.
Well, it's not everyone. It's one specific person as of right now, Mr. Logo.
Hello. Can you hear me?
No. Yes.
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. Thank you. Happy New Year. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Thank you.
This cat's German.
Yeah, he's from Germany, but he lives in Sweden.
Okay, I could tell from his accent. He was not Greek like we know some people. Yes.
Yes.
A very diverse group, I see. Yes.
No, excuse me. I'm downing the last of my cereal. I know.
Oh no.
I know. It's very rude to eat on stream, so I'm trying to get it through as soon as I can. No, the main contention right now is not even honestly with Steven, it's with Lupin right now. Because he decided to go on Gangster Ghost show and play a bunch of crap that didn't even ask permission to do it. He basically played an Andrew Tate clip all about how, atheists, they think they're so confident about everything. Well, if I came to your house with a gun and I threatened you with if I threatened you with a gun, then you wouldn't be so effing, confident in your ideas then, would you, Mr. Atheist? And they just worship chaos and all that crap. And he basically came in, like, specifically to try and stir the pot and rile things up, so...
Man, this is why I took a rest from the internet.
I don't blame you. No, I don't blame you. You're certainly you've certainly been better off for it. You're like Mark Stoney. I envy you, honestly, for being.
And I asked Lupin for evidence, but he did not provide that. Right? But even when Tate's argument is, if we put up with that and say, okay, then it leaves him with a broken compass, because in the same situation, a Hindu will turn to Shiva, right, and a Muslim will turn to Allah, and right, Mbuti in Congo will turn to Konovom. So then, which one is the correct compass direction, right?
Well, you tried actually arguing with the substance of his video, and that was the exact opposite of what he wanted in that situation. So, Mr.
Yeah, he wanted to bullshit us, right?
Yeah,
I know.
Well, Lupin couldn't offer a complete sentence, so.
Yeah, he basically is taking advantage of the open platform that we offer over here to do things like that. So I know I'm not gonna ask Dustin's opinion on it or anything, because I know they're friends, and I'm not trying to put you in an awkward position by bringing this up. But Father Charles kind of hasn't been.
No, I'm not here to defend Lupin. If Lupin does stupid things, then Lupin deserves a stupid prize. Okay, and if Lupin had a legitimate argument, I'd have his back. But it's so rare. It's like. It's like that black swan that comes along and ruins the white swan hypothesis. Like, it just I don't get me wrong. I love him, but the man is operating with an Apple iMac with Windows 2.0. Like, it just.
I mean, you don't have to call Father Charles set up out like that, okay? It's kind of rude for you to point that out, honestly.
Well, when you're done with Lupin, give him back.
He probably borrows it from Father Charles on the weekends. You're right. No, but...
I mean, I love him, man, but it's the only man I've ever seen that wrecks a train into an airplane and then blames the water conditions. Like, I've never seen anything like it. Never in my life. How did you manage to do this? Like, if I knew any better, I'd say you were a genius. But there's no way. Like,
so, any luck on introducing the dishwasher concept in your time off, Father Charles? Did you end up getting that passed?
I could see him advocating against a guy in a Pope hat. You have no reason to cling to tradition.
I can see him at a synod going, look, all right, these Catholics want to try and act like we're just always been the same all throughout all the history. Well, you know what? Let's show them that we can do something that's a little bit more unorthodox. And then I'll be on the side with the drum kit. Boom, boom.
Yes.
Oh.
You only need to look at the. I lost my thought.
You cannot lose your thought if you are Achilles. Your thoughts are perfect. Every thought that you have is nothing but the perfect, unvarnished truth of reality.
I swear, I'd be mad at you if you weren't so good at that. I swear. I love Achilles, but it's just so disarming. It's so disarming. You have mastered the point or the ability of insulting somebody in such a way they're looking forward to the trip. I mean, I used to think I was the only one who could do that, but son of a bitch. gonna kick you in your nuts.
Is the only one in that group that actually has enough of a sense of humor to find it humorous rather than going, oh, I am so offended, but those group of people are snowflakes. Like, that's one of the things I found really funny was he came in here guns a-blazing. Lupin is what I mean by when I say that. He's like, you guys are just a bunch of snowflakes. You guys are just a bunch of snowflakes. That's all you guys are. It's like, are you guys the people that say that Logan putting people's faces on other people in videos was a tax? Like, I mean, like, either you get to say that or you get to call other people snowflakes. You don't get both. I'm sorry. I can tell Father Charles is about as thrilled to step back into this community as like a pig farmer is thrilled to step back into the muck of their pen after taking a vacation. It's like, oh boy, I can't wait to step back into this. Woo!
I only came back because you do better imitation of him than me. Of you than I do.
I am not doing an imitation. I am Achilles. I am here right now. I have been channeled. I have been channeled through Aiden's dark ritual powers.
I believe in the flat Earth, but I cannot expound on it for people. Will think I am crazy.
Oh my goodness. I think all scientists are liars and mockers, but I have 3 scientific degrees, alright? That is what I have, and it makes
I am a computer programmer.
I have watched every documentary on YouTube, but I cannot name how many moons Saturn has.
Oh my.
Yeah,
good times. It was actually funny that time that we did. The last time I went on Steven's channel before I apparently got banned forever was me and Achilles had like a 3-hour long discussion about astronomy and astrophysics.
A 3-hour tour. A 3-hour tour.
It was a tour de force. It really was. But at the very end of it, it kind of ended up with Steven throwing a red herring in, bringing up drama, and then when I responded to his drama, I ended up getting booted off the show. And apparently, me responding to his drama was reason enough to ban me forever. But hey, that's okay. I was just glad that I was actually able to talk astronomy with Achilles before I finally did get banned, because that was my big goal, because he had these astronomy nights where he would talk astronomy, and I'd just be like, yeah, that's not right, that's a misconception, that's been disproven 30 years ago, yeah, okay. So I wanted to have a conversation with him about it, and it went about as well as you would imagine it would for somebody that thinks that they're a lot smarter than they actually are.
Do you see this point of light as Jupiter passes between, I don't know, Saturn and all her moons? I don't know.
That is right. Okay, so you need to understand that if you look at the point reflection of Io off of Callisto, and then you take the square root of Io's volcanic eruptions and multiply that by Saturn's ring depth, then you will actually find that these planets are flat and that they are actually on the same kind of elliptical orbit that the Earth is around my ass.
I was once thrown off from a flat Earth server, but it was on Discord, and it was a few years ago. Just for asking about Fraunhofer lines and reflecting on that, because they said, all the stars are just lights in the sky, right? And when I explained that they are not, because they have a spectrum and they have an absorption spectrum, right, where lines are missing, then they freaked out, like literally.
Well, I've heard Achilles try saying that if you look at a planet like Uranus or Neptune, they thought that was a star for the vast majority of the history of humanity, and that's true. For the mass majority
That
of
is
human
true.
history, we did think that they were stars. I'm not going to deny that, but that doesn't mean that we didn't do the rigorous calculations to prove that through the perturbance of their orbits on other planets, that they are planets, they're not stars. And he uses that premise to expound and say, well, how do we not know that all of these other things out there, that their points are even stars? It's like, because we have specific evidence behind them going supernova and behind them being formed.
Okay.
No, we
Bring
do.
it back there, Rango. Bring it back there, Rango.
Have you ever heard?
We don't have that evidence.
Have you ever heard of the Han Chinese accounting of the supernova in 1051?
Yes, I have, and again, that relies on testimony, which you would throw out if it was about Jesus. So I'm gonna go ahead and.
It was actually multiple civilizations that testified, quote unquote, to this event, as you claim. It wasn't just the Han Chinese. It was also the.
Was there Romans and was there Jews at the time of Jesus dying? There was multiple civilizations that you would rule out the testimony. They were on different continents too. What are you talking about?
Oh yeah, you're talking about continents directly adjacent to each other, but we're still talking about civilizations that all have direct contact with each other.
Tell me, how can we predict that Halley's Comet will come every 75 years?
Well, we can predict that.
How is this? How is this?
Because it has an orbit.
The Chinese,
right?
the Chinese did have long family and dynasty tradition of charting the star movements. Right? They had their own unique ability, their own unique language, their own unique math, and that was one of the things that. Huh? Well, okay, but like. Never mind. I don't know why we got to shift the argument. I was working on Aiden. I had him in the corner on the ropes, and then Father Charles comes in with the left.
We were talking about different civilizations. I'm not shying away from it. Let's go right back to it if you want. I mean, we can look at a civilization like the Maya or the Tolteca, and we can see that these are civilizations that also had astronomical data that they gathered over prolonged periods of time, and they correlate the event that happened and was recorded by Han Chinese astronomers. So I really don't see any reason.
You know where they don't agree? The dating process.
Well, they have different calendars.
They all had different calendars. Yes.
Right. So how do you know? How do you know you're talking about the same event?
How do we
know? You
don't.
I don't care what your argument is.
Caesar was born. How do we know the day that Julius Caesar
was born? Give me that. That's not the same thing. That's not the same thing, and you know it.
No. Listen to me. It's not just. It's actually different than what you think I'm making the argument for. Because I'm not talking about the Gregorian versus the Julian calendar. Because the reason why it's called the Julian calendar is because Julius Caesar was the one that funded the creation of the Julian calendar. Before Julius Caesar, when he was born, rather, they were using a lunar calendar that was completely different. On a completely
that's absolutely correct, actually, so because you only had a full moon
calendar.
Well, because you would have to refer to the lunar calendar in order to know for sure.
Right,
because that was the original. But that's
right.
But they didn't know that back then. Your argument holds as long as they knew about it back then, but that's not every civilization knew. So what are you talking about? That wasn't an ultimate clock for reference.
On two different sides of the earth happened to.
But they didn't have. But they didn't have the same way of measuring time. So you can't correlate two.
We can correlate those two things the same way that we can correlate our calendar with the Roman lunar calendar. That's the reason why I made that point, because we can cross-reference these dates.
We can, but that doesn't mean that they did, and that doesn't mean that because we're doing it now.
They saw it at the same time, which is why when we cross-reference them, they correlate to the same time period, because it happened at the same point.
You're assuming that.
No,
you're assuming that. They may not even be looking in the same area. Dude, okay, so you got to think about it like this. They're on opposite sides of the...
Go ahead.
They're
Go
on
ahead.
opposite sides of the planet, right?
Yes.
So if you're on the west side of the planet like you are, and then on the east side of the planet, and you're observing the same phenomenon, then you have to account for a whole year's change because the Earth has to turn.
Right, and this is an event that lasted in the sky of the Earth for about a week. Like, this is an event that was literally called a second sun that could be even seen during the daylight. It was such a bright, flashing event that lasted for multiple days. So it's not just a minor aberration that we're talking about. We're talking about an extreme event that was so extreme and that was so bright in terms of its luminosity that we could literally still witness it during the daytime. That's not just something that two civilizations with separate events.
You're taking the description of an event from one civilization and matching it with the description of an event from another civilization, and then you're using that to link up the calendars, and that's a huge mistake. You don't know that both civilizations are describing the same event.
We're using to
There's
link up
no way to know that.
That's not that we're not using the event to link up the calendars. That would be faulty reasoning. We're using correlations that we find in the consistency between both of those calendars, because I'm sure you would agree, due to it being an extremely famous calendar, the Mayans were extremely good at calendar keeping. They were very accurate.
Yeah, they had a Bach tune. Yeah, they had a whole wheel that we found that described their whole calendar. Yes, I agree with that. The problem is we don't know that their rate of measurement of time is comparable with the Chinese and their rate of measurable time. I mean, we presume some things, right? We try and find some correlation between the two events, and then we try and link the calendar based on those events. But that's not a reliable way of doing it. It's not even.
What is
you
your
can't interlink the two. Alternate? My alternate explanation is that civilizations record history in different ways, right? And just because two civilizations describe the same phenomena does not mean that the phenomena is one and the same thing.
I mean, I would agree with you with that if they weren't describing basically the exact same event in terms of how they described it appearing, when it appeared, and how long it appeared for. Like, you were trying to say, well, you don't believe the testimonies for Jesus because that, well, we're dealing with testimonies of interlinked civilizations. You don't see the Bantu in southern Africa or the Mayans in Central Asia talking about Jesus Christ, right? So that's why I'm trying to bring this up, because it's an entirely different level of evidence that we're describing here, because they can be correlated.
No.
You might not like the fact that
the level of evidence still falls back on testimony. So you can quibble over the difference in the numbers, but the reality is the delivery system is still the same.
Correlative testimony, though, which I think holds a measure higher of weight in terms of evidence.
And there's your bias showing, How's that right? Bias? You don't know that they're talking because you don't know that they're talking about the same event. There's no way that you can know that.
We have, within reasonable doubt, ascertained that based on the information that we have.
Then I have, by reasonable doubt, ascertained that Jesus did rise from the dead.
I think our standards for reasonable doubt might be different.
Well, that's your problem, not mine.
I mean, I'm not the one that initially raised the contention that the supernovae I was talking about didn't happen, so I don't really know if it's my
I didn't say that it didn't happen. I said that two civilizations could be describing the same phenomenon and not talking about the same event. Well, you don't even know that the Mayans recorded the event based on the first-hand experience, or if it was a story passed down from family generations and they knew that it was about this time that they had to put it in their records. You don't know how they recorded their history. We know how the Chinese did.
Specific time, though.
We know exactly how the Chinese recorded their history, but we don't know how the Mayans did it. We don't know if it was oral tradition, or if it was written tradition. We do know that eventually it became written tradition, but we don't know how it was stored before that. There's even types of communication that required like dead birds and certain figurines in order to illustrate a kind of scenery in order to make a communication. Like that was their form of communication back in the day. You would have a box and it would contain items and they would be arranged in a certain order, and that was supposed to tell a story.
Now, the Mayans did have written history. They recorded their history in screenful books. We don't have a lot of those left.
Eventually they did, but we don't know. We don't know if it was oral tradition before it became scribed.
No, they had scribes.
No, we
in their
don't.
Society. Yes, they did. They had a class of scribes in their society whose job it was to keep these sorts of How do you think they were able to keep astronomical data? Could you really keep astronomical data?
They did that. They did that by weaving. They did that by weaving blankets. They had little beads and little blankets and things that they did that meant things. There was an entire form of communication that was made that way.
Right, that was the ritualized aspect of how they displayed those things, but that wasn't how the astronomers made their calculations and did their work. They had to have.
How did they make their calculations? How did they, Aiden? Do you know how they did it? Because we don't.
I mean, we have presumptions of how they made their calculations.
Right, because we don't know, Aiden. Aiden, it's okay to say you don't know, buddy. It really is. It's okay to say you don't know.
I just did say that I didn't know because I just said I'm not going to pretend like I know how they did it. That's me admitting right there that I don't know. So I don't know why you think you've got this gotcha moment.
It's not a gotcha moment. I'm just letting you know it's okay to say you don't know, buddy. It really is.
I acknowledge that. I just told you that I don't, and that does not mean by any means, though, that the most reliable way that at their time and their disposal, given what we've found of their screen books, that the best way that they would have had at their disposal to be able to chart that data would have been on a device like a screen book, where they would be able to alter the information and change it based on new findings.
Okay, look, what I'm trying to say here is very, very simple. We don't know if the history was recorded at the time or if it was passed down via oral tradition and then scribed later. There's been entire civilizations that do that. So there's no reason to think that the Mayan couldn't.
Well, no, and I'm trying to make the contention with you that it would have been likely because they had a class in their society whose specific job it was to be literate and to maintain these sorts of records. The problem is that the vast majority of those records, like with the Aztec and the Inca, were destroyed by the Spanish.
Right. And we don't know when they were written. So that would imply that there was an oral tradition.
There was a huge wealth of them that the Spanish had at their disposal to destroy. Exemplifies to me that they were doing it before any sort of Columbian contact occurred, before any sort of Western influence would have arrived on the continent.
But that's not evidence for writing coming before oral tradition, right?
No,
in my opinion, oral tradition.
I'm just saying that it's evidence for that writing having existed for a long period of time, due to the amount of them that had to be disposed of by the Spanish.
How did they build?
But that doesn't prove.
How did they build the pyramids? How did they build them pyramids without mathematical?
The Mayans?
The Mayans and Incas?
The Mayans had like a physical form of math. Okay, right? Like the Pythagorean theorem. You find examples of it all over in their stone cutting. There's the explanation is very, very.
Well, that's what I want to hear, an explanation. How did they build these pyramids?
This is interesting. So the Mayan culture used a base 20 number system. It was an additive positional system that used two symbols, a dot for 1, a horizontal bar for 5, and a cowrie shell for a placeholder. It's unclear whether they also considered it a true numeric 0. However, that is likely given the context within which it's used. So they did have very advanced mathematical concepts at their disposal. I mean, for as obvious as it is to us, even the mathematical concept of zero is a very big innovation. I'm not saying it's certain. It doesn't
No,
say
it
that
is.
it is on there, but
Zero is a big innovation. Yes.
because I mean, look at all you have to do is take a look at Roman numerals to tell you how tedious it becomes when you have a numerical system where zero doesn't exist.
Exactly. Exactly.
Well, does everyone want to come on?
Oh right, Claude's got a show, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Someone has to send me a link for Claude's show.
I will.
Yeah, I want to go support Claude on his show as well if
Okay.
he's got one going on.
Someone send me a link.
Is there no link in? Where is that link?
I'm going to send a link to you, Father Charles.
Yeah, there's a StreamYard link on his channel. I'm gonna go check that out. But anyways, I'll talk with you guys later.
Okay, see you. I'm leaving. Bye.
Bye. I just sent him a link. Bye, everyone.